Why does it feel like every single time you take your car to the dealership for service, you get one of two people? Either it's the guy or girl who genuinely cares. You can tell they care about you and they want to take care of your vehicle. But you can tell that they really have no idea what it is they're trying to sell you and why. Or there's the other one. You can tell that they don't even realize you're a person. They don't even realize that it's your hard-earned money that they're trying to take. They just want as much of it as possible. I'm about to give you a sneak behind the curtain to show you what's really going on that causes this mistrust behind the dealership. It's a lot more involved than you might expect. So stay tuned. I'm Josh Brown. Thanks for watching Automotive Answers. I hope this will be helpful for you. I think it will. Now, first of all, you may have noticed I'm in a forest. Now, that has nothing to do with our topic today, but I just like a forest, so you're here with me. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Now, let's get right to the point. You don't trust your dealership. In fact, you've been to several dealerships and you don't trust any of them. Nor do you trust most independent shops or mechanics or people in the automotive industry in general. There's some good reasons for that and there are some not so good reasons for that. I'm going to help you sort through these. But our topic specifically today is car dealerships and why they're so hard to trust. Why it seems like they're never on the same page. You get a different answer every person you talk to, and it always just doesn't make sense. So here's the simple answer. They're all just liars and thieves. I know when you just heard that, you were like, yes, that's exactly the answer I wanted to hear. Unfortunately, that's not true. Actually, I say unfortunately, but fortunately, that's not true. To start off, I've got to set the stage for you. So a dealership has a whole bunch of working parts, and they're not all working together the way they should. You've got advisors, you've got technicians, you've got express technicians, which are the ones that do the quick lube type of thing, and I'll get into more of that in a minute. You have got detail guys, you've got salesmen, you've got managers, you've got managers over the managers. And here's the plain and simple. They're not all working together for the same goal. So now let's take all those people, give them all different individually performance-based pay plans with different objectives to achieve and different ways that they earn their money. Plans say, let's go win. That's essentially what's not working. So let's start with the service advisor. That smiling face that welcomes you, greets you, and ensures you that you're going to have a great customer service experience. The service advisor has three main jobs. First, to welcome you. Customer service is huge in this industry, and people want someone they can trust. Second, that advisor's job is to sell you as much as they can. Make no mistake, an advisor is a salesman, and their compensation plan is based on that. Third, to keep you coming back. Customer retention is also huge in this industry. How is a business supposed to grow if they keep losing all their customers? So as you can see, an advisor's job is complicated. It's a delicate balance between making people happy and selling as much as they can. How does a service advisor get paid? Well, some dealerships offer a base pay or a guarantee. Then there's gross sales. This is always a component. And finally, there's CSI or CSE. This is the Customer Service Index or Customer Service Experience. So CSI or CSE, depending on the dealership, is 100% where you get to rank them. This is that survey that you get after you visit the dealership, whether it's an email or a phone call or an actual letter in the mail. This is where you rank the advisor. You have no idea the power you hold in your hands with this little survey. See, the dealership and the individual employees are expected to hit 100% positive on this survey. And when they don't, bad things happen. For example, the price at which an owner can buy a vehicle from the manufacturer changes based on the dealership's CSE. So if the dealership is low, below the district, or below what the manufacturer expects that it should be, that owner has to pay more to buy new cars from the manufacturer than dealerships that are hitting all their goals. And that's a big deal. Dealership owners get really grumpy when they find out they have to pay more for a car than other people do, that they're going to go try to sell for a lower price. So their customer service rating and the gross amount of dollars that they bring in. Those are the two main things that a service advisor's pay is based on. I'm going down some steps, so I'm being a little bit more careful. So moving right along, we've got the technician. The technician is paid on something called flat rate. You may have heard this term before. Flat rate is based off of a time guide. At a dealership, the manufacturer sets the time for everything. For warranty repairs, the manufacturer pays the dealership whatever that flat rate time says it is, whether it be 1 hour, 1.2 hours, 0.3 hours, whatever they decide is what the technician gets paid. Now, anything besides warranty repairs are considered customer pay time. The dealership gets to set what they want customer pay time to be. That can range from exactly the same as manufacturer time. That can be 1.5 times manufacturer time. That can be twice manufacturer's time. I've seen it all across the board. So say the manufacturer says that it should take 1 hour to do a brake job on a specific vehicle. If the dealership's standard time is 1.5 times manufacturer's flat rate time, you would be paying an hour and a half of labor to that dealership, whatever the dealership sets their labor rate as. The technician would get 1.5 hours at their specific hourly rate. So say the technician makes $20 an hour. For a brake job at 1.5 hours, that technician is going to make $30, regardless of how long it takes that technician to do the job. So the technician's goal is to make as many flat rate hours as they can in their 8-hour workday. To do this, they want to recommend as much work as they can, especially work that they know they can get done quicker than the flat rate time. So if they know they get paid an hour and a half for a brake job, and they know that they can knock it out in 30 minutes, they're going to recommend those all day long. But here's the catch. If they have a comeback, they've already been paid for that job, so they get to fix it for free the next time that it comes back in. So it benefits them to take their time and to do the job right. Also, most of the time, flat rate technicians don't have a guarantee to fall back on. So in the winter months when business is slow, they're just not making very much money. But in the summer months when it's very busy, they're doing well. Next, service managers. Service managers generally have a similar pay structure to service advisors. So they get paid a base salary, usually a pretty good one for service managers, but also part of their pay is going to be based on customer service, as well as gross and net numbers for the service department. Now, a service manager position can be a high-paying job. They can do very well for themselves. There's also a very high turnover rate for service managers. Just like in any kind of management position, if you're not meeting your expectations, they're going to find someone who will. Now that you understand the key players, I'm going to take you through the process so you can understand what's going on. So first person you'll see when you walk into the dealer should be the service advisor. They're the one, again, that's supposed to make you feel warm and cozy, to make you feel understood. The service advisor will take your information, try to get any additional details about the vehicle and your maintenance needs, and then they'll send it off to one of two places. So let's say you're just in for an oil change and a tire rotation. You go to the waiting area, your vehicle goes to the express techs, who bring the vehicle in, look it over real quick, get it up in the air, and start changing the oil. Now those express technicians are paid hourly. They don't have much motivation to do anything more than just get the work done. But the boss is constantly breathing down their neck, telling them 20 minutes and that vehicle's got to be out of there back to the customer. In that 20 minutes, they're expected to change your oil, rotate the tires, and do a full, complete multi-point inspection. I'm just going to be honest, most of the time that multi-point inspection gets pencil whipped. That means they're not doing a thorough inspection. There's reasons for that. Here's why. They're not incentivized to upsell anything. Okay. As a customer, I'm sure you're thinking, I don't want them to upsell anything. I just want the work that's needed. I don't want them to actually try to sell me anything else. I don't want them to sell you anything else either. But when we're talking about selling, we're talking about inspecting the vehicle and letting you know what the vehicle needs. We're not talking about selling you accessories or selling you an air freshener or something like that. We're talking about the technicians looking and seeing, do your brakes need to be done right now? Do you have a coolant leak? In addition, they're supposed to also be letting you know what maintenance items are recommended at your current mileage so that your vehicle will last as long as you expect it to without breakdowns. How would you feel if you went to a shop just to get your oil changed, your tires were bald and you didn't even realize it, then you leave from there on a rainy day and you get in a car accident and they didn't even let you know your tires were bald? So like way too many employees who are paid hourly, they've got no motivation to do anything besides ride out the clock and not get yelled at by the boss. The result? An inspection that makes you happy and that's easy for the service advisor because they don't have to tell you that you need anything. The downside, they probably missed things that your vehicle needs that you're going to be notified at a later time, but you had no idea it was coming. And for the other scenario, your vehicle's there for an oil change, tire rotation, but your check engine light came on recently and you want that checked out as well. That's going to go to a mainline technician. You may wait on the vehicle, or they may send you home and come pick it up later when they know what's going on. That technician, if you remember, is paid flat rate. Well, to diagnose your check engine light took over an hour, and he's only going to get paid a half an hour's worth of work. So he needs to make up for that in order to feed his family. So he's not going to shortcut your inspection. He's going to make sure to check all the things that make him good money. The brakes, the water pump, the timing belt, the spark plugs, the vehicle history to see if you've had a fuel service done. He's not missing a single thing. You're going to be sure that you know about your maintenance with these technicians. So this time, along with the repair for the check engine light, you're going to get an estimate of about $1,500 of all maintenance items that have been overdue for a while because nobody let you know about them before. The technician comes and gives the report to the service advisor. The service advisor looks at the technician and says, I can't try to sell my customer all of this. They just finished telling me about how they don't even know if they can afford to fix the check engine light. They just had a baby. So the technician goes back to his area and waits. In the meantime, the service advisor goes through that inspection report, crosses off all the things they don't think that you're going to buy, and then they call you and tell you, check engine light's going to be $250 to fix, and your brakes are at about 2 millimeters, so you probably want to get those done pretty quickly. You can do them next time, though. So you're probably wondering a couple things right now. First of all, what in the world happened to the weather? Well, we're in Tennessee, which I love. We've got a thing here called seasons. So it's been 5 minutes since you first started watching this video, and here everything can change in 5 minutes. So yeah, this is snow. This is about all we get down here. I grew up listening to Amy Grant's Tender Tennessee Christmas, and I was severely disappointed when I came to Tennessee and this is it. I mean, we get a little bit more than this, especially up north Tennessee, but down here in middle to southern Tennessee, it's lacking a little bit. So the other thing that you're probably wondering about is, you're probably saying, Josh, this is a lot of interesting information. I had no idea that the auto industry worked that way. But you still haven't answered my question. You still haven't told me why I can't trust my car dealership. Why I don't believe what they're telling me. Well, let me get a little bit more to the specifics of that. It depends on what we're talking about, who you don't trust. Because I don't want to deal with just generalities here. I'm going to deal with the specifics. So the service advisor. You may feel like you don't trust your service advisor. And here's why I think that is. Your service advisor may not fully trust the technician and what they're telling you that you need. So when the service advisor is trying to relay the information to you, they don't sound real confident, which in turn makes you question everything they're saying. I'm going to give you a tip at the end of this video to help you with that and to help them as well. The other side of it is you may be getting one of those advisors that really does just want your money. That same tip is going to help you with this advisor as well. So let's deal with these specifically. You've got the advisor that you don't trust because either they don't sound like they know what they're talking about, or the technician who's just giving you way too many things that they say need to be done right now. I'm going to give you one tool to help smooth the transition from technician to advisor to you, and to help build that trust, and really to help them do their jobs. It's called the RIM process, R-I-M. So here's how it works. When your technician gives that advisor the big list of things that you need to do to your vehicle, there's no way to really prioritize what needs to be done right now and what can wait. So what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you print out a RIM sheet that you can take with you to your dealership, and you can request that your advisor and your technician together go over to give you detailed information. I'm going to put a link to the file down in the description so you can download this form. And here's the way it works. That list of things that need to be done on your vehicle, we're going to break that out into 3 different categories. First, R, related. These are all the things that are related to your main concern. So if your check engine light was on and it was an oxygen sensor, what are things that may be related to this issue? Why did the oxygen sensor set a code? Is it because there's oil contamination on the oxygen sensors? Because you're burning oil? We got to kind of trace that back. What are the related things? Can we do a fuel induction service to help with that? Is your catalytic converter starting to go bad, and what can we do to prevent that from happening? So these are all things that are related to your main concern. These would also be things like if your water pump has just gone bad and they want to do a coolant flush because they're trying to get out any debris from that failed water pump out of there as well. So a coolant flush could be related to your main concern of a leaking water pump. So all the related items are grouped together. The next section, I. This is going to be the immediate concern. So this would be things like you've got bald tires and you didn't even realize it, or an oil leak that's actually pretty bad. This could be a battery that failed the battery test, or something like your brakes being almost metal to metal. These are all things that you need to know about right away, and you really should do whatever it takes to get these things fixed. The last section is going to be maintenance items. These are all the things that they recommend based on your mileage or based on your vehicle history that need to be done to make sure that vehicle is going to last and be reliable for you in the long haul. These are not items that need to be done right away because they're not repair items. They're not immediate items. They're things that you need to be planning for and budgeting for. So those 3 categories, related, immediate, and maintenance. Maintenance are the least of your priority issues. That's stuff that you can wait and save up for, but that you want to know about ahead of time. The immediate is stuff that you really need to take care of right away. And the related are all things that are part of the reason why you're here today and what they need to do to make that vehicle last for you. I hope this has helped. I hope it makes sense. Again, download that sheet. Again, subscribe to the channel, please, and I'll keep putting out videos each week. Also, ask your questions down in the comments. I'll try to get to as many of those as I can, and I'll see you next time. Bye.